You have a friend who looks like they have it figured out. The apartment is nice, not aggressively nice. The kind of nice that reads as earned rather than inherited. The car is recent. The vacations appear on your feed at the frequency that suggests disposable income rather than credit card debt. The dinners are at the places where the entrees are priced without apology, and nobody at the table suggests splitting differently. From the outside, they are winning. And somewhere in the gap between their visible life and your honest balance sheet, a feeling arrives that you have learned to manage but not eliminate, the specific private suspicion that everyone else figured something out that you did not, that the financial anxiety you carry is personal rather than structural, that if you were doing this correctly, your life would look more like theirs. Here is what I know about your friend's balance sheet. In 2026, the average American household carrying the lifestyle signals you just recognized, recent vehicle, regular travel, restaurant frequency, apartment in a desirable area, is carrying approximately $22,000 in consumer debt alongside it. Not instead of it, alongside it. The lifestyle is real. The financial position producing it is, in a significant number of cases, a credit architecture, a structure of revolving debt, deferred payments, and minimum payment management that maintains the appearance of financial health while systematically consuming the wealth that the appearance implies. The receipts exist. I have them. My name is Mia. I spent years inside financial services watching the performance of financial success operate as one of the most effective wealth extraction mechanisms in the consumer economy. Not because the performers were reckless, but because the system specifically rewards appearance over position and charges the appearance premium to the people least able to afford it. Today, I am showing you the receipts, the data behind the performance, the debt behind the lifestyle, and the specific reason understanding this changes everything about how you evaluate your own financial position. What the data actually shows. Let me build the picture from documented numbers because the everyone is secretly broke claim requires evidence rather than assertion. The Federal Reserve's Survey of Consumer Finances, the most comprehensive household financial data collected in America, shows the following for households in the 35 to 44 age bracket in 2026. Median net worth, approximately $91,000. Median liquid savings, cash, and near-cash assets available within 30 days, approximately $8,500. Median consumer debt, excluding mortgage and student loans, approximately $6,800. Now the credit card data specifically. The average credit card balance for households in the top 40% of income earners, households earning above approximately $70,000, is approximately $8,200. Not the bottom earners, the top 40%. The households whose income suggests the balance should not exist. And the vehicle data. The average monthly car payment in 2026 is $530. The average loan term is approximately 68 months. 68 months of $530 payments on a vehicle that depreciates approximately 20% in the first year is a financial commitment that the payment amount almost never reveals in full because nobody calculates the total cost of the vehicle at the point of purchase. They calculate the monthly payment against the monthly income. The monthly payment fits. The total cost does not get calculated. The person in the recent car is not necessarily wealthy. They are almost certainly in a 68-month commitment that will cost them $36,000 before the loan is retired. How the performance gets funded here is the specific architecture behind the lifestyle that looks like wealth and functions like debt, the revolving balance strategy. The credit card balance does not sit at $22,000 in a single account, making that number visible. It sits at $4,000 on one card, $3,000 on another, $6,000 on a card with a 0% promotional rate. That expires in 4 months, and $9,000 spread across 2 store cards and a personal loan. Each individual balance feels manageable. The aggregate is catastrophic, charging approximately $4,800 annually in interest before a single new purchase is made. The minimum payment performance. The minimum payment on $22,000 in consumer debt at 22% average APR is approximately $440 monthly. $440 leaves the account. The accounts stay current, the credit score remains functional, and the balance moves approximately nowhere. The performance of financial responsibility, on-time payments, current accounts, a credit score in the near-prime range, is fully maintained. The financial position underneath the performance is deteriorating at the rate of $4,800 per year. The income growth trap. As income increases, the credit limit increases. As the credit limit increases, the balance ceiling rises. The lifestyle expands to fill the new limit because the new limit was designed to be filled. Because the credit card issuer's revenue model depends on a revolving balance, and the credit limit increase is not a reward for good standing. It is an invitation to increase the balance that generates the interest that funds the reward. The person earning more than last year and feeling more financially insecure than last year is not imagining it. The credit architecture expanded with the income. The lifestyle expanded with the credit. The margin, the gap between income and committed spending, stayed approximately the same, or shrank. What? This means for how you measure yourself here is the reframe that the receipts produce. The lifestyle you have been measuring yourself against is not a benchmark, it is a debt performance. A specific, documented, financially costly presentation that requires $22,000 in consumer debt and approximately $4,800 annually in interest payments to maintain. The gap between your balance sheet and your friend's lifestyle is not evidence that you are behind. It may be evidence that you are ahead, that the margin you have preserved by not funding the performance is available to compound rather than service debt, that the emergency fund you built instead of the vacation is producing 4.7% annually rather than costing 22% in revolving interest. The person who looks like they are winning from the outside and the person who is actually building from the inside are often the same income, the same age, the same neighborhood, making opposite decisions about whether the margin gets performed or compounded. The performance is expensive. The compounding is invisible. The algorithm surfaces the performance. The balance sheet reveals the compounding. Run the balance sheet, not theirs, yours. You are not failing. You are measuring yourself against a lifestyle that was being funded by a debt architecture you were not seeing, and concluding that the absence of the debt performance was evidence of financial inadequacy rather than financial sanity. You are not behind. You've just been reading a map drawn by the people who want you lost. Hit subscribe, because next week I am inside the wealth gap, the specific, compounding, documented advantage of financial inheritance, and showing you what building without a head start actually requires and what it actually produces. And I'll leave you with this: $22,000 in consumer debt, $4,800 annually in interest, 68 months on the car note. That is the receipt behind the life you are measuring yourself against. Stop measuring, start compounding.